In Washington this morning, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is facing growing calls for his removal from members of his own party. They're upset over the deal he struck with President Biden on the debt ceiling. Despite the recent threats to his position, McCarthy has embraced the role and is pushing ahead with his agenda, which is being dubbed by some as a YOLO approach, as in, you only live once. Joining us now is NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ali Vitali. Ali, good morning. So talk to us about the YOLO approach that McCarthy is taking, despite the fact that his job is, seemingly under constant threat because of this deal he struck to become Speaker in the first place. We do have a list of things he's done over the last few months. Walk us through some of these and what's his strategy here.
Yeah, I love that you say it this way, Joe, that he's under constant threat of losing his job, because that's the deal he made to get the job in the first place, which is why this piece by our colleague Scott Wong is so good, calling this the "you only live once" speakership, because that's sort of how McCarthy has seemed to treat this. We know the parts of the job that are really hard, the idea that any one member could trigger what we call a motion to vacate, effectively ousting McCarthy from his job. We've also seen over the course of the last week, and I'm interested once lawmakers come back this week, if the pain continues from these 11 rebels who are holding up every action on the floor in an embarrassment to leadership. But look, for McCarthy, he has been able to travel the world, meeting foreign dignitaries, and even back here in the Capitol, we know the parts of the job that he relishes. Every day, for example, to go to open the floor, that's a job that he could farm out to any rank and file Republican member. Instead, we see McCarthy always make that walk, and you've seen me do it with him time and time again, from the Speaker's office straight down the hall to the floor to open Congress every day. Those are just a few of the things that make us feel like the parts of the job that are bad, we talk about, but McCarthy's relishing the parts that aren't that.
All right, Ali, on a separate topic, more about our top story this morning, McCarthy reacting this weekend to former President Trump's indictment. What is he saying about all this?
Look, McCarthy is doing what most House Republicans are doing, which is saying that this is an example of a two-tiered system of justice and coming to the former president's defense. I think what's going to be fascinating is, yes, watching McCarthy stand by this idea that government is being politicized against Trump. That's the same after they saw the first indictment. That's staying now through the second one. But I think what's going to be more interesting is the way that McCarthy backs up, supports, and even pushes his main committee chairman, people like Congressman Jim Jordan and even James Comer on the Oversight Committee. How can they use their majorities to sort of provide a defense for Trump on the congressional front? So, for example, after the first indictment in Manhattan, we saw Jordan's Judiciary Committee try to bring Alvin Bragg before it. Mark Pomerantz is someone who they were able to speak to. Just any way to muddy the water on any of these probes. Now we're waiting to see if Jordan does the same thing on the DOJ front. I reported last week in a scoop that he was trying to move towards DOJ, just asking for more information about the special counsel and really the parameters governing those probes. We'll see if he goes deeper with that, but McCarthy has been supportive so far.
All right, Ali Vitali. Ali, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.